1 Million Moms is a group that came against a Hallmark Channel ad that featured a lesbian couple getting married, and they actually did this weird thing called kissing. So after that went down, 1 Million Moms came forward as a conservative group that wants to keep things clean and pure on our television and our movies to make sure that children don't get caught up. They're very impressionable. They found a new target.
Hey everybody, so today's video is going to be a little different. So I'm going to be talking about homophobia and death threats aimed at children. So that's just a trigger warning. It's going to be heavy, it's going to get heavy, but we're going to push through, okay? We're going to push through. And I'm going to try my best not to get mad because people are just crazy. You'll find that out. I mean, you pretty much already know that, but like people are crazy out there. But not you people. You people are cool. You watch me, so you're cool. Alright, so before I get into like the main story of this video, I need to tell you guys the story of Shizao. So Shizao is this children's animated sitcom that ran from 2012 to 2013. It was originally aired in Australia, but I live in the United States and I saw Shizao back when it was airing. I saw it on like some random public access network. So the show ran for one season. It was canceled after one season. I'll get into that later. But the show was about a young 12-year-old boy named Guy Hamden. And he's pretty much a standard 12-year-old boy. He likes skateboarding. He plays video games. You know, just a standard 12-year-old boy. However, he somehow finds a ring and then he puts it on and then he becomes this superhero. So he has to balance his life where like he's a regular young boy, but then he also has this alter ego of this superhero who goes around fighting crime and saving the day. Now, just from that premise alone, you'd think that Shizao is a pretty typical kids show. Like there's nothing really out of the ordinary. You could even compare it to like shows like Henry Danger or something. However, what makes the show stand out is the fact that when Guy turns into his alter ego is not like Spider-Man or Superman or Batman or whatever man. Guy Hamden's alter ego is this ultra-feminine superheroine named Shizao. So Shizao is the superhero that Guy Hamden turns into, and Shizao goes around fighting bad guys with her mascara and her high heels and her brush and her fishnets, and I love it. I even loved it back then when I was young and watching it while the show was still on the air. But when I rewatched the show this year, I have a lot more respect for the show for many reasons. The first is that I loved how the show was basically one of the first LGBTQ plus shows that I've ever seen, and it was aimed at children. I know that like that wasn't its intent. Like the creator of the show even says that Shizao is just like a guy, a young boy dressing up like the boy is straight. But I imagine that this show has a pretty strong LGBTQIA plus fan base because whenever Guy would reveal to other people that he was Shizao, the way that they would react, like they would be loving and everything, but the way that they would react is as if somebody was coming out to like a family member or a friend. And then they were all supportive, and I loved that. Loved the show. I love the show even more now because of the time that it came out. It came out 10 years ago, 11 years ago, 2012. And back then, the world as a whole was not as accepting of the LGBTQIA plus community as they are now. So the fact that the show came out back then and was like just what it was, like a young boy dressing up as an ultra feminine superhero, that's his alter ego fighting crime, I loved it. Love it, love it, love it. However, you know who didn't love it? The moms. Ooh. The parents were mad. So there was this company called 1 Million Moms, and basically they monitor all of like children's media, whether it's from the internet, TV, music, anything, just to make sure that their children are like safe and not listening to like bad stuff or watching bad stuff and stuff like that, just trying to protect their children. The parents hated Shizao. They were trying to come for my girl, like talking about Shizao was like promoting bad values, telling young boys it's okay to dress up as a girl, blah, 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 whatever the millions of moms said. Is it even 1 million? I'm sure that number has dwindled by now. But anyways, the moms were upset. And as a result, Shizao became canceled after just 1 season. And I am still upset about it 10 years later. Okay, but we have to move on. We have to move on. Justice for Shizao. You guys should go watch that show. I'll link it down below. Great show. Yes, it's a little corny because it's a kid's show, but you'll love the show. I loved it. I loved how the show even had like continuity within it. There was even like this episode about like an alternate universe where Shizao met somebody named Dude Pow, which is basically like the inverse, where it's like a young girl becomes this masculine superhero. Anyways, never mind. So now we get to the main story. So in 2014, Good Luck Charlie was coming to an end. Now we all know Good Luck Charlie, at least I hope we know. But if you don't know what the show is about, it's basically about a degular family with 3 kids, PJ, Teddy, and Gabe, and then their mother gives birth to Charlie Duncan, the youngest Duncan family member, up until season 3, where they get Toby. And then Teddy Duncan, the second oldest child and the main character of the show, she makes video diaries for her younger sister, and they're all beautiful. But anyways, it's a hit Disney Channel show that ran from 2010 to 2014. It had 4 seasons, pretty much garnered high ratings throughout its entire run. I personally think it's one of the most entertaining Disney Channel shows all the way through. There's never a dull moment or a dull episode. And the only other Disney show I can say that for is probably That's So Raven, just because incredible cast, there's no topping that. But Good Luck Charlie was always entertaining. I always loved it and still do. It's one of my favorite all-time Disney shows. So in 2014, when Good Luck Charlie was wrapping up, its second to last episode featured a lesbian couple. So the episode is basically about Charlie, who at this point, at the end of the series, she's 4 years old. So Charlie has a friend, and then her friend's parents are is a lesbian couple. So Charlie's parents are hanging out with the girl's parents, and they're trying to figure out like, which one do I hang out with? Which one's the masculine one? Which one's the feminine one? Which one would want to hang out more with Bob? Which one would want to hang out more with Amy? And I just think that whole concept is hilarious. It was done very well. I love it. And if you watch the episode back now, it's just whatever. It's like a regular episode of Good Luck Charlie. But again, who was mad? The 1 million moms. Ooh, they were mad. So I just talked about how the 1 million moms ripped apart Shizao and made my girl become canceled. However, the 1 million moms were not done. Do you want to know how mad they were? They were so mad that they were like leading protests towards Disney. In the backlash of this episode, somebody, I don't know if it was like with the 1 million's moms or somebody out like not associated with them, but somebody who was like hated this episode, hated the lesbians, hated everything. They like sent death threats to Mia Talerico. Now Mia Talerico plays Charlie Duncan. Charlie Duncan is the 4-year-old child who was on Good Luck Charlie. She was a baby when the show started, and then she was 4 when the show ended. So I just have a lot of things to say. So first of all, okay, I can't tell anybody what stance they should choose. But let's say somebody is like just against 100% against gay, against everything, against LGBTQ. Let's just try to get into their mindset. So let's say like they just don't stand for this episode. They think that the lesbians thing was too far for Disney and this is bad for our kids, blah, 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 blah. Like, first of all, the ladies, they were just sitting there. Like, they weren't being intimate at all. They weren't talking about anything intimate. It was just like trying to be there for their kids. Like, it wasn't even about the parents. It was about the kids. Like, you know what I mean? And second of all, let's say you're so mad, you just didn't care about that, you're just mad. If you're mad, why would you attack Mia, like the 4-year-old child? She was 4 at the time when the episode aired and they attacked her. No, maybe she was 5. Yeah, she was 5 when the episode aired. Her character was 4. But she was Mia Talerico. She was 5 when the episode aired. Why would you attack her? She's a 5-year-old child. She has no say in what happens. In fact, like, Charlie Duncan has no say in anything. Like, Charlie, like I said this in one of my videos where I talked about Good Luck Charlie. Charlie Duncan is just an accessory to the show. She doesn't really have much of a personality. She's just there. The show is mainly about, it's about the whole family, but it's mostly about Teddy and her mom. They are the two main characters. I know Teddy is the main character, and then Bridget Mendler is the main character, and then Lee Allen Baker, the mom, Amy, she's the secondary, like, close second, even though she was the most entertaining. But, like, if you're gonna attack anybody, you should attack not them, because, like, they're just the actors. You should attack the showrunners. Why weren't you attacking the creator of the show, the showrunners, Disney? Well, you were, but, like, why would you attack Mia, like a 5-year-old child who has no say in what goes on in the show because she's a 5-year-old child? See, now your whole standpoint is, like, negated because it makes no sense, because you decided to attack a 5-year-old child. Now nobody's going to take you seriously when you have a standpoint. Even though I don't think you would have had a serious point, a good standpoint anyways, because now it's 2023 and the whole world as a whole is more accepting of the gays. And yeah. Mia Talerico, I hope, like, you survived this. Of course you did. You're like 14 now. Ignore them. They're just ridiculous, stupid. If you would make death threats towards a 5-year-old child, like, I do not have any sympathy for you. Why would I? A 5-year-old child? You see how it makes you do crazy things when you're full of hate? But Mia, I hope you're doing fine. I hope you're doing well. I hope that didn't hurt you too much. Also, if Good Luck Charlie ever gets a reboot, which I really, really hope it does, first of all, it's the perfect show to have a reboot because the concept is already there. Just Charlie Duncan being a teenager watching the video diaries that Teddy left for her. And I know if I was Charlie Duncan, I'd have an amazing time watching the video diaries my older sister left for me. Because, like, I know every TV show has to have their thing, like, because it's what makes it special. It's the plot. Like, That's a Raven. Raven has to have a vision every episode. Wizards of Waverly Place, Alex has to do magic every episode. Hannah Montana, she has to make the transition from Miley to Hannah every episode. Like, there are certain things that every show needs to do for every episode. And Good Luck Charlie, like, yeah, I'd watch a compilation of that. I'd watch a compilation of Raven's visions. I'd watch a compilation of Alex doing magic. I'd watch a compilation of Miley transitioning. I'd watch a compilation of Teddy Duncan's video diaries. And that's actually something that popped up on YouTube, like on my recommended list a while ago. It was a compilation of like 5 hours long of all the video diaries that Teddy left for Charlie throughout the entire show. I'd sit and watch that all. I mean, I don't have the time, but if I did, I'd sit and watch that all. However, if it was like iCarly in the web show, if it was a compilation of all the web shows they did, I would not even watch one. Carly Shay on the last episode, she watched that entire thing on the plane ride to Italy. I was like, girl, how did you do that? How'd you not like cringe? Especially just seeing yourself in general. But seeing yourself doing the iCarly web show, I cannot do it. Carly, you're strong. But yeah, overall, don't send hate to people. It's not worth it. 1 million moms, you need to calm down. I hope you've calmed down now because it's like 2023. It's a different age. We are more accepting. Mia, I hope you survived that mess. That is ridiculousness. I got bad. I got very, very mad because that is just ridiculous. Why would you, a 5-year-old child who's not even the main character? Yes, I know it's Good Luck Charlie, but it's not really about Charlie. It's Teddy Duncan's show, Bridget Mendler's show. It's not Mia Talerico's show, so why would you attack her? And that's an actor. That's not even the character. The world is just a ridiculous, ridiculous place. So, summary, watch Shizao. Shizao should not have been canceled. It was way ahead of its time. 2, I hope Mia survived that. 3, the 1 million moms need to get a job. That's ridiculousness. And I know they're not gonna like me. I'm gay, so 100%. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a little deep, but it needed to be said. I needed to get it out there. All right? Okay. Have a nice day. Bye.